Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Unveiling the Oracle with me, JustChristine. Today we'll be unveiling, I'm excited about this one, Indigo Angel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Charles Virtue. This one is one of my, what I call originals. I have different terms and I do things very differently. Originals for me just mean the first couple decks I ever owned. We're doing inventory now, and I am probably up to 2 years ago, I had 230 decks. I like to collect all different decks from all over the world and see how they resonate with me. Sometimes I bought a deck and I'm like, this one's not for me. And then 3 years later, I'll stumble across this deck I forgot I even owned. And it was like, wow, I needed it for this moment. So this is not really to judge the creators of these decks whatsoever. This is just me personally opening the box for you guys to see the quality of the cards. Like, is it good card stock? The art, the words, is there spelling errors that I notice, and me just sharing my personal opinion on what I feel about the cards in case you're interested in buying them. It's nice to see them, before we go out, because some places and most places don't let us return things once we open them. I like to personally be the first owner of cards. I know there's so many different things out there like, oh, you should be given cards. I honestly have never had a mentor, and I've just gone with what feels right to me. And for me, I want to be the first person that has the energy with and using the cards. So let's get into it. I want to say that I've always been a big advocate of not looking at the books. Not that I'm opposed to it. I think looking at the books are great. Now that, I'm more seasoned of having experience using cards, I actually will prefer to read the books. It gives us a lot of education on the background, right? But for the longest time, I never looked at books because I felt like these cards are just a tool that I use to communicate with my guides to deliver a message. And that's why I always steered away from tarot. I actually love tarot, but when I'm on platforms like this, if I have those tarot fans that know the specific meaning to each card, it's not that I don't know it. I'm not using it in the sense of what it was created, the deck, tarot meaning for. I'm using it as a tool with my guides. So I might have a different meaning every single time for the same card. And so I've never really looked at many books. There have been some books where I open and I look at like the meaning of the card and I'm like, wow, that is a great meaning. And I'm going to use this deck specifically to read the book. So I know from looking at this right before I came on here, I saw something and I was laughing. Guys. This is just a different intro because of what I saw. I'm like, Christine, this is why you should have read the book years ago when you got this deck. So I assumed in my mind years ago, by the way, Doreen Virtue is my number one favorite, own the most of cards to use when doing readings for others. I always assumed Charles Virtue was her husband. Yep, I'm gonna get a tap on my back from the universe being like, you should have read the book. And when I was prepping to go live to make this video, I planned on showing you guys the box, reading whatever the back of the box says, opening the book, just like breezing through the book, looking at the front and back of the book. And when I did, I noticed something, because as the years went on, Charles's name disappeared from the decks and just said Doreen Virtue without Charles. And I was like, oh my God, maybe they got divorced, these angel readers. And I just assumed. That's why you should never assume things, guys. I preach about that, okay? And when I read the back of the book, I realized they were not husband and wife, they're mother and son. So, book drop. Shit, you should read the back of the books. So let's start with this. Indigo Angel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and her son, Charles Virtue. It says a 44 card deck and guidebook. Nice hard box. I'm just going to show around. This is the back that I'm about to read to you. At the top of the pictures, it says angelic messages for and about indigo children and adults. The back of the box says this. Indigo are strong-willed, intuitive leaders with spiritual skills, including the ability to clearly recognize the truth. Yet in this complicated world, even indigos need assistance in knowing the next step to take in their mission, as well as relationships and other life areas. That's why Charles Virtue, an Indigo himself, and his mother, Doreen Virtue, created the Indigo Angel Oracle cards specifically for Indigo children and adults, along with their parents and teachers. Each of the 44 beautifully illustrated cards contains a special message from the angels. The accompanying guidebook explains the meanings in a way that is simple and to the point. After all, Indigos are on a mission and have no time to waste. I know that I got this from Barnes & Noble a couple years ago. When I say a couple years ago, probably about 5 years ago. It was marked as $18.99 in US currency then. So, yeah. That's when I got that. When I get new Oracle decks from this moment on, because these are we're reviewing the ones I own, right? But as I get new ones, which I always am, I will make sure to unveil them in this exact moment, like with you guys. So, first I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that has this book that comes inside. I'm laughing. If I ever read this book and I ever just looked at the back and read about them, I would know instantly they're mother and son, but I didn't do that. It comes with a deck of cards that was wrapped. They're gilded silver. You can see that I've used these as familiars with how worn out the sides are. I took them out of the box. Sometimes you have like cute messages inside. So this is just what it looks like. We're gonna first start with the book. I'm gonna first just open the book and tell you a couple things. So this deck of cards was published in 2013 and printed then. It gives us a list of all the other Oracle decks that are by Doreen Virtue. In the contents, we have a how to work with the Indigo Angel Oracle cards, the meaning of the cards, and then every single card. So, I'm just gonna do a little, how would I do a flip through backwards? It's in black and white. Just wanna show you that. It is about 55 pages. The back of this, let's read it. Okay, so the back of this is just the back of the box, but I will read this little bio on Doreen Virtue and her son, okay? Doreen Virtue is the best-selling author and doctor of psychology who worked with the angelic realm, which I resonate with angels as well. That's why I'm probably really drawn to this. She's written about the Indigo generation in her books, The Care and Feeding of the Indigo Children and the Crystal Children. Doreen has appeared on Oprah, The View, Good Morning America, CNN, and other programs. She presents workshops around the world. You can visit her at www.angeltherapy.com. Charles Virtue is a fifth-generation metaphysical psychic and healer who learned to work closely with the angels from his mother, Doreen, from a young age. He helped her write The Care and Feeding of the Indigo Children and co-authored the book Signs from Above with her. Oh, I would love to read these books, to be honest. And teaches angelic certification classes around the world. You can visit him at charlesvirtue.com. Okay. I want to say something too. I know there's a little beginning part which will describe a little bit about what Indigo children are. But this deck, I guess, would be great for you if you're an Indigo child, which I'll explain what that means. I was actually told I was an Indigo child for a very long time. I recently went to a healing festival where their top healer said, "You're a shaman," and I've always been drawn to the thought of shaman. So I would say for anybody that anybody can use this deck of cards and you'll still get guides and they'll be useful. But for those that are Indigo children, it'd probably be an extra special experience. But I've used these on people that are not Indigos, and I myself have used them, not knowing if I'm an Indigo or not. Maybe if I was an Indigo, I wouldn't be drawn to them. I don't know. We'll find out. So really quickly, I am going to read you a little bit from how to work with the Indigo Angel Oracle cards. I just wanted you guys to get a sense, because I don't want people to think that this is not a deck that's worth buying if you're not someone that identifies with being an Indigo child, because I did not think I was one when I bought this. And I love the deck. This is one of my like most used from back in the day decks. The term indigo refers to strong-willed, intuitive leaders of all ages. Indigos have an inborn ability to sense whether someone is telling the truth or not, and they only respect people who are honorable regardless of age, title, or rank. Because of their nonconformity, indigos often buck the system, which is part of their global mission to bring truth and integrity to this world. Whether you're an indigo or someone who loves or cares for one, the angels give extra guidance to support the important work of indigos. The angels' messages help such individuals with every aspect of their personal and professional lives. I, Charles, created these cards especially for indigo adults and children using my firsthand knowledge of being an indigo. I focused upon the issues that are foremost for indigos, including their emotions, lifestyle, relationships, self-esteem, and life purpose. My mother, Doreen, and I made this card deck and guidebook simple and to the point. After all, indigos are on a mission and have no time to waste. I think that's very helpful with us, right? But again, I believe that anyone can connect with these cards. So first I want to start with, these cards are a beautiful size. The last deck, Judith Orloff's Empath's Empowerment deck, my little hand, it was like bigger than my little hand. This is the perfect size. They're gilded beautifully with silver gilding. They are a great, I've never had a Doreen Virtue deck that had crappy cardstock. Great cardstock. I've had these for years, okay? 2013 printed. So I'm going to quickly just go through these cards. I'm just going to show you what they look like. So this is the back of all the cards. It's beautiful. I'm drawn to it. Is that because I'm an indigo? I'll have to buy these books. Okay. I'm just going to show you the pictures. I'm not sure how TikTok works. So if you're watching this in the future on YouTube, I record this on TikTok, but I'm not sure if I can show pictures that have a little bit of showy bodies. So I'm just going to cover the little parts that I feel are like nude. So they all just have like a basic word at the bottom, I'm seeing. I will say with this one, even though I say the books are not a big deal, I never read like, you know, the spreads or whatever in books. But this one I do refer back to the small, simple message. Now for this, we'll put the camera up there so I can hold that. Ooh, that's what I was saying. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty. So I'm gonna try on every Sunday at 11:11 Eastern to go live on here and do a reading for every astrology sign for the upcoming week using the decks that I unveiled during the week, mostly starting on the previous Friday at 11:11 a.m. Eastern. I'll do the unveiling. It's our first week doing it, so I'm just learning. I love the art in this one, but I am very drawn to angels. I also think sometimes when it has a simple word, it could be harder for people or easier. For me, it gives me a lot of wiggle room to say what I want to say. But I also do love cards that have a lot of detailed writing on it as well. If a card has art that I'm not the biggest fan of, I usually won't gravitate towards it as much. I am a sucker for angels. And maybe I do like this deck because I am an indigo. Who knows? I follow under all those definitions. So make sure to check me out on my other socials, and I will have this full video up on YouTube. We're almost done. The last card, Allow Love. Beautiful. Well, that's it for us. Thank you for being with me while we unveiled the Oracle for Doreen Virtue and Charles Virtue's Indigo Angel Oracle cards.